lost all of my love and my sanity. Vanity told me I'm too hard to handle. Dismantle when the opposition quit playing with me. Brothers hella lame, how they get their name? Israelites lacking integrity. Politics made it to Israel, but it's not spiritual. Why can't I let them get next to me? Chef in the kitchen, he cooking, he cooking, he cooking. These niggas trying to steal a recipe. Look at my weaponry, that is my specialty. Lion of Zion, a Judah full pedigree. Repping my legacy. If I got a body rappers, then Mac, he gon' be the accessory. Judah the gang, and I'm repping it heavily. Vocals the same, but I got a new melody. I'm from the bottom of Rebel to Grepper Street. Haters, they hate me, to really be repping me. Yeah, they really be repping me. I went to war for some brothers who never had love and they heart or respect for me. Gates told me go where they celebrated, they don't just tolerate your gifts. Christ told me shake the dust off your feet and take your peace with you when you dip. Made it out of a city where plenty crashed. We never had nothing, we needed cash. Feds gave us Aguilera, we didn't know better. We turned it to Lenny Crab. Should've got y'all running from my past, but the Lord made a way when he threw the flag. Beat the case, but I blew the bag. Did it bare face, we don't do the mask. Now Protestant, Jesuit, Lutheran, now we don't do the mass. I just be watching they movement and how they maneuvering, slithering through the grass. Who gon' pity for the snake charm? Put them in the bag, shake the snake on them. It's never about who your haters, it's always about how much money you making on them. Put your riches in the most high, that's the best flip for the best price. Cash in where your house shy, I'ma die once, I'ma live twice. Bars mean, but my flow nice. Rep 12, not the pole lights. Chef, he the light of the world, I'm trying to keep all of my babies from pole light.
You die once, but you live twice. Please don't get left, you'll have no rights. Me and Chef steam like bowl rice. This be getting ate like 4 twice. I European, get your soul right. They don't hear me though, like no mic. How they supposed to know, like no advice? Children of the light, like no night.
Got me feeling like Ricky Bobby up in Talladega. I'm on the road, feel like I'm on fire. Holding it down till I see the Messiah. Dripping in gold, you see the attire. Dripping in gold, you see the attire. I say it twice for those I inspire. Make it a third for all of the liars.
Please do not treat this like entertainment, man, I pray you don't. This a cry for your soul. Renew your thinking and rearrange it, man, I pray you do. Cause the kingdom's the goal. They really tricking for little payments, making money moves, but you losing your soul. How y'all be thinking, be aggravating? I'm not spelling that like I'm losing my nose. We gotta represent, children is watching. We see with the ruach, the spirit is watching. Me and Chef at the back, we did the way that we flipping this heat, man, it feel like hibachi. Killing these demons with pain is my doctrine. I'm bobbing and weaving, it feel like I'm boxing. I want the kingdom of heaven, the mysteries that are spoken of in 2 Colossians.
Yeah. Die once, live twice. Yeah.
Oh man, I lost all of my love and my sanity. Hey man, y'all know what it is, man. The Scoring Black Man podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in. You're tuned in to episode 39. Candace Owens, Black Revolutionist, or just another new version of modern women. Shalom, brother Daniel. How you doing this wonderful Sabbath?
Shalom, happy Sabbath. Happy Sabbath to everybody that tapped in. Man, I'm feeling good this morning. Dreary as hell up here in Erie, but you know, it is what it is, man. Dreary, Erie on the lake.
Oh man, I know it's cold up there, man. It's cold up there. Well, we're gonna it's not gonna be a long-winded show for y'all today. We're gonna hit y'all with a quick power punch, man. Candace Owens, everybody knows her. Some people like her, some people dislike her. Some people call her a Republican bootlicker. Some people call her a coon. Some people call her a revolutionist. Some people call her very smart. Some people call her a ghetto gagger. Some people call her, a wonderful sister. So we're going to dive into it today. We're going to start off with a little video to kind of just dive in and see who is Candace Owens and what does she stand for. But until then, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button here at the Scoring Black Man podcast, also at Fire Talk Radio. Also at Let's Talk Knowledge and Wisdom Radio. Shalom, brother. Zadok, how you doing? Let's Talk Knowledge and Wisdom Radio.
Yeah, shalom, brothers. How y'all doing? Shalom, Fire Talk Radio. Shalom, Hilltop. How y'all doing, man?
Hey, shalom, brother. How you doing?
All right. All praises.
Okay. I'm going to get into this quick video to show who is Candace Owens, and what does she stand for. Until then, shameless plugs, please.
Yeah, definitely tap into Fire Talk Radio podcast. Go over there, like, share, and subscribe. Also, LT KW Radio. Go over there, like, share, and subscribe, and you already know what to do here at the Scoring Black Man Podcast.
I would be really funny, though. I'm like randomly really funny.
That is Candace Owens, the world's very first funny conservative. Candace Owens was born in 1989 in Stamford, Connecticut. In high school, Owens was the target of several racist and threatening voicemails. Because one of the students leaving the messages was the son of then Stamford Mayor Daniel Malloy, the story attracted widespread attention. Her family settled with the school district for $37,500 thanks to the NAACP, an organization Owens now believes is one of the worst groups for Black people.
NAACP is one of the worst groups for Black people.
After dropping out of college, Owens became CEO of Degree 180, a website which included, among other things, a blog focused on taking down then-candidate Donald Trump. Under Owens' leadership, the publication consistently bashed the former steak salesman at every turn.
Let's go eat some steak, okay?
One article was titled, "Does Donald Trump Actually Have a Small Penis?" The piece concluded that Donald Trump most likely has a penis the size of an infant. In a 2015 column, Owens wrote about the crazy antics of the Republican Tea Party, and that it was good news that they will eventually die off peacefully in their sleep, we hope. And then we can get right on with the obvious social change that needs to happen immediately.
I absolutely love this president. I think that what he did in this country was the most necessary thing by killing political correctness.
In 2016, Owens launched a Kickstarter to fund a new venture, Social Autopsy. It was a project that ended up changing Owens' political trajectory entirely.
It was like a project that was so from the heart. It was just like trying to rectify the wrongs that I felt were done for these kids that aggressed me, in high school. And instead, I end up in the middle of a firestorm.
Owens explained the project's intentions. We attach people's words to their places of employment, and anybody in the entire world can search for them. What we were doing is figuratively lifting the masks up so nobody can hide behind, Twitter handles or privatized profiles. Internet users were concerned that the site would encourage public doxing and could potentially publish private information about anyone at all. In the wake of the project launching, Owens got a call from Zoe Quinn, a target of the sexist online harassment campaign Gamergate. She allegedly told Owens she was worried this would lead to the doxing of children and tried to get her to not go through with it. Shortly after the conversation, Owens began receiving threatening emails. Simply because of the timing, Owens believes Quinn was behind the myriad emails from users with pro-Trump handles.
We're getting inundated with emails that say bob@trump45.com, and they're like, die, N-word, die. All of their addresses happen to be Trump45 at Gmail, whatever it was. They would actually have weird porn handles, weird handles.
According to Owens, these emails definitely didn't come from actual Trump supporters. And because the web publication Breitbart supported her conspiracy theory by writing an article saying that these attacks all came from Zoe Quinn, a theory never backed by any evidence other than coincidental timing, Owens became a full-on conservative.
People that I thought were white nationalists, which was Breitbart, was the only publication that was just telling the truth about what's happening.
Social Autopsy never saw the light of day after Kickstarter suspended the campaign, but created along the way was a newly minted firebrand for the conservative right.
Oh, also, I think I might be a conservative.
Things were quickly falling into place for Owens. After shedding her liberal roots, Owens was hired by Turning Point USA, a conservative campus advocacy group that was facing accusations of racial bias. The group drafted Owens shortly after one of its former national field directors sent a text to a Turning Point employee that said, "I hate Black people. F them all. I hate Blacks. End of story." Owens' platform at Turning Point sprung her into the national spotlight. And when Kim Kardashian's husband tweeted, "I love the way Candace Owens thinks," Owens became an overnight sensation.
I find her to be I know her. I think she's a fine person, a fine young woman.
Owens' brand of conservatism is seemingly empty and vapid. When you begin to peel the assertive layers back, there's oftentimes nothing there. No facts to back up her beliefs.
You don't think we have to care about the environment?
No, not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit?
No. The fact that there is a disparity in the science community about whether or not it's real is enough to...
It's very little.
Yep.
Very little disparity.
But,
most scientists, the vast majority, agree that human beings are negatively affecting climate change.
Yeah.
The vast majority.
Yeah, I just don't think so.
Good enough for me. What many know Owens from is a video where she legitimized Adolf Hitler, spinning Nazism into a patriotic form of nationalism. In a congressional hearing on the rise of white nationalism, Ted Lieu played back the video.
Of all the people that Republicans could have selected, they picked Candace Owens. I'm going to let her own words do the talking.
When you think about, whenever we say nationalism, the first thing people think about, at least in America, is Hitler. He was a National Socialist. But if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine. The problem is that he had dreams outside of Germany.
Can't think of anything else that Hitler did. At the same hearing, Owens claimed white nationalism was not a threat and said that the Southern strategy, a well-documented tactic used by the Republican Party to leverage racism against blacks to increase their political support amongst white voters, never existed.
Myth of things like the Southern switch and the Southern strategy, which never happened.
In a YouTube video she posted, Owens says black people shouldn't be concerned with the KKK or white supremacy.
I mean, there are 6,000 Klansmen left in our nation. You want me to actually process that as a legitimate fear?
According to the Washington Post, Owens believes accounts of rising white supremacy are made up by the media. And it is worth noting, Owens was named in a manifesto by a white supremacist accused of killing 50 people in New Zealand. The gunman said Owens was his main inspiration. Owens has positioned herself as the black voice within the vastly white far right. She believes the 8% black vote Trump garnered in 2016 can be boosted, and in May of 2019, Owens walked away from Turning Point to focus on this exact issue. She launched Blexit, the dumbest name I've ever heard, is an effort to push black people out of the Democratic Party. Owens goes further to pit herself against the community she ostensibly claims to defend, saying police brutality isn't a concern whatsoever for the black community. Even though one survey which polled over 30,000 black people across the US found 87% of respondents said that police killings of black people is a problem in the community. And additionally, new research published by the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences shows that black males are 2.5 times more likely than white males to die during encounters with police officers. Owens, who claims liberals think black people are stupid, once said the NRA was started for black people to defend themselves from the KKK.
I know that the NRA was started as a civil rights organization, training black Americans to arm themselves and defend themselves against the KKK.
Which is 100% false. The NRA was started in 1871 by Union Army officers as a training club for marksmanship. But while Owens is working hard and lying about history to move the needle for Trump, in a few years, when she's old enough, she may try to move it for herself.
Let me say what Trump said.
Say that now.
If I stepped up, if my country needed me, like he said 10 years ago, I would step up and I would do the job.
Brother Daniel Hooter, man. Since you came up with this title, man, I'm gonna let you start us off, man. What do you think about this, man? Once again, man, it's episode 39. Candace Owens, Black Revolutionist, or just a new version of modern women? And Brother Daniel Hooter, man, give me your thoughts, man.
Candace Owens is someone that I really didn't know anything about, and I think that's probably, the situation for many of so-called Black America before the, the name drop by Kanye early last year, late 2020. I think that she's one of those people that has a polarizing image about her. You either love her or hate her. You either agree with her or you don't. And I think that she has, in some instances, a lot of things that she say that we can probably all agree upon. But then, just like in everything else, she says other things that will retract from those prior statements that she has made. So she's really an enigma for the so-called Black community nowadays, because I know she's a Republican, she's a conservative. She started out, as the video said, that she started out against Trump early in her life. And then we see that she ended up being one of Trump's most avid supporters. She also has made statements such as, police brutality doesn't affect the Black community, which, each paradigm is different for most people, but we know on a wide scale, on a macrocosm within our community, that police brutality in its many shapes and forms is definitely a problem for so-called Negroes here in America, and I'm assuming worldwide. So she's an enigma, man. I mean, it's hard to put your finger on it. All I can say is I think she's a face that they put in front of us, a political face that she put in front of us, who talks very eloquently. But when you go back and do some of the research, you might could find a lot of holes in some of the things she say, but then at the same time, you can find some things that you agree upon. Your mic off.
Man. I say, man, we see the white man, he caught her in all kind of goddamn, you know what I'm saying, holes, you know what I'm saying? And literally he catching in all type of holes, if you know what I mean. But yeah, the sister, I'm confused about her. I'm not gonna lie. My first thought about her that she was a Republican bootlicker, but you know, I'm a conservative. You know, if we want to get down to it, the Most High is conservative. You know what I'm saying? All those Israelites should be conservative. You should hate feminists. You should hate LGBTQ. You should hate abortion. You should hate, you know what I'm saying? All the wickedness that liberals, you know what I'm saying, accept. All that wickedness that Democrats, liberals accept, that's not of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? That's not all. If you in the voting system and you like to vote and you know all that politics and stuff, well, keep on voting down Democrat and see how far that gets you when you leave this mob. If you believe in, you know what I'm saying, the Most High, because Most High is not no liberal at all. He'll be more of a conservative. You know what I'm saying? We don't believe in all that mess. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with her on that point right there. But she's a double-minded Negro, man. You know, we should have thrown her on that show. You know what I'm saying, that we did a couple weeks back, man. She is a real double-minded Negro, and it got exposed in like the first, I think it was the first 2 minutes of that video, man. It went to explain how, you know, she was in high school and she got bullied. You know, they called her all kind of nigger bitches and probably spit on her. You know what I'm saying? Treated her like a real ghetto gagger. And you know, they sued for how much it was, $30,000, chump change. You know what I'm saying? Chump change the family out. They took that, and what did she do? You know, it's one thing to have your political mindset. Like I say, I have more of a conservative mindset, but I'm not in bed with the Gentiles as far as literally, you know, saying things like there's no police brutality. She doesn't believe in white supremacy. She believes all that was made up by the media. You know, say it's a propaganda. And you know, to a certain extent, the sister, as far as them gassing things up, of course, yes, the media gas things up and exaggerate things to a high level, but white supremacy does exist. I can believe you. So I mean, she should know. You know, she literally has been through it and is going through it right now. You know, just because you join on the Republican conservative side doesn't mean that you still a nigga. You know, right. And you know, you're a nigga woman. You know what I'm saying? I'll listen to one of the first shows, the Brothers of Dog, Let's Talk Nice Whistle radio was on, man. And he used that term, you know, nigger woman. You still a nigger woman. And they're gonna let you know that. And they're gonna let you know that every turn you go to. Facts. So she, and you know, another thing, she's married to the white man, for y'all don't know, you know what I'm saying? She's married to the white man. And so she's compromised to a certain extent. I don't think everybody that's married outside their race is necessarily compromised. I would probably think more women probably be compromised, and she probably is. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no way you can't say white supremacy doesn't exist, and you don't experience it. You know what I'm saying? At a high level. You know, it just doesn't make any sense. You know, I compare her to Shannon Sharp. He's the same kind of way. You know, they speak up to white people about trying to trick black folks and, you know, calling out certain, you know, white supremacy acts or something. But, you know, I guess their allegiance to their, you know, their significant other makes them backpedal. They start moving.
And that's what I was going to ask you. What do you think that somebody that's married outside of their own race has a biased opinion when it comes to certain topics pertaining to people outside of their group?
Well, Brother Daniel, this might sound very misogynist to a lot of women, even probably women in the truth. But if they really in the truth, they really know that Bible, they'll probably feel me on this point. I believe women will be more subject to being, misled, because they are the weaker vessel, according to the scriptures, and we know they are. And if our wives is if I can't judge, I can only judge the men and women that we have today. And the men and women that we have today, I believe, I know I have homeboys and family members that are married to mostly, I guess, probably the white woman. You know what I'm saying? I might have a few that's married to, Hispanics and stuff like that, so forth and so forth. But they still have more of a black, type of whole mindset. They don't care. They're gonna talk about white supremacy in front of whoever, their wife, parents. I mean, they don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? And nor should they. But and you dealing with politics, man, and you dealing with trying to really speak out. Man, I say it. The individual, I would think more men would be able to handle it more than women, but that's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but it's biblical. It's biblical. The woman is a weaker vessel, and we can see even when they get around white people, you know what I'm saying? They ain't got to be dating them. They already glowing and trying to, stun their own people. You know what I'm saying? The black men, when you see black men mostly with these white women, and we're gonna use white people mostly. You really don't see the type of coonery that you know what I'm saying, see when you see, but you do see it. You do see it, but the percentage, percentage is higher with the females. But what about you though, brother Yehuda? What you think about that? I mean, like, what you think? You think, so like your own question. You think that, that a person can be with a person outside our race, who we would call a Gentile, if you in belief of being a Hebrew Israelite, that just means someone outside the race of our people. So what you think, man?
I think that if a person is speaking truth, whether they're married to somebody outside of their race, I mean, truth is truth. But at the end of the day, though, I will find it hard pressed for somebody who is married to someone of another nation to make the hard choices if it comes down to it that might be a detriment to their significant other's group of people. For example, biblically speaking, we're supposed to not give our sons or daughters to the other nations. When you read that in like Tobit chapter 4, verse 12, it says, "Beware of all whoredoms, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers, and take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe. For we are the children of the prophets, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even they that they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land." So we know that this scripturally, if we're coming from a scriptural foundation, we're not supposed to intermarry with the other nations. Because
let me ask you about that right there. I was thinking about that. I'm glad you brought that scripture up, man, because kind of the spirit is moving right now. So let me ask you, Tobit 4 and 12, right? That's what you read, right?
Yes.
Okay, Tobit 4 and 12. Now, we have certain times when we have the Most High talking, and then we have prophets, men, men of the Most High, who we call prophets, talking and giving the Most High's words sometime, and then they're giving their opinion sometime. Would you agree if Tobit 4 and 12 is Tobit giving his opinion on chiefly, telling the brothers to take someone of their own tribe out of the 12 tribes of Israel to, you know what I'm saying, like to basically, you know, just to keep the bloodline tight and everything. Will you say that was his opinion to do that? No, like to do that, or was that, or do you think that was actually the words of the Most High? Him actually saying this is what the Most High is telling me to tell y'all, or was he giving them his opinion?
I'm going to say that these were the words given by the Creator through the prophets, because out of 2 or 3 mouths of witnesses is a matter established. So we see that this isn't just something that was spoken by Tobit, but it was spoken by Nehemiah. It was spoken by Joshua. It was spoken by Moses. You know what I'm saying? So we see that it was spoken by numerous prophets. And I would have to say that the reason why that was implemented, which we already know, when the order was given not to take any wives or husbands from the land of Canaan, was specifically for this reason, which is in Deuteronomy 7:4. It says, "For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of Yah be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly." So we're dealing with cultural differences. You know, when you're raised by 2 different parents that's not of the same cultural background, you're going to get lessons in the various cultural ideologies and understandings, and possibly worshiping of certain entities and deities that your parents may have been raised up on. So in that aspect, when you start intermingling outside of your own nation, who, you know, culturally speaking, you have the same belief system, the same language, the same geographical location, the same bloodline, the same belief system. You know, when you start blurring that line, now that opens the door for you to be tempted or to sway to and fro as far as your understanding and what you should or shouldn't do. So that's why I think through the prophets that the Most High implemented those guidelines.
Facts. And we see that happen with Solomon in the Bible with all those wives. But we also see in the Bible where, you know, the forefathers had took. What you think about that? We you know, like brother said, well, you know, some of our forefathers had, you know, Gentiles mothers with Gentiles wives. You know what I'm saying? And those kids was what's that? I mean, like, because, you know, everybody gonna go to their certain scriptures, and you know how it is. You know what I'm saying? You got brothers that believe in taking you know, you got brothers that believe that this person is a Gentile, this person ain't a Gentile. You can mess with this outside, you know, this other nation of people, you can't. But what you got to think about the ones that, well, we seeing now where they had Gentile wives, and, you know what I'm saying, was called them concubines, and so forth and so forth. And we see some incidents where they didn't call them concubines, it was called a regular wife. What would you have to say about that? And we're not getting off topic, y'all, because this is all about Candace Owens. We're gonna bring it all, you know what I'm saying, to you here.
Well, yeah, if Brother Sadak want to answer this one, I'll go ahead and concede and let him jump in on this.
Yeah, Brother Sadak, you want to go on here, man? Candace Owens, you could tackle the issue about her. You know, she don't believe in white supremacy. You know, she's double-minded. Are you a conservative? Are you more conservative or more liberal? And do you also believe that you can have a man or a woman? Can they have a spouse? Well, I don't believe the woman can. So, but do you believe that they can have? Well, if they have one, can they basically have a mindset of a righteous Israelite? They're supposed to be revolutionary people. Go ahead, bro.
No, yeah, shalom, everybody. No, Candace Owens, once again, back on that topic, man, with her, she's a very bright individual, young Israelite woman. She's very smart, right? She's been put to the forefront and put in the limelight and on a political stage for a reason, right? as the brother said earlier, Don Yehuda, that she's put out there to be the face of so-called black man and woman in America. Her values and her views and opinions on things are pretty much mirroring the values, views, and opinions of a lot of the people that she's associated with on that political platform, which would be the Republicans or Republicanism or conservatives. She's a flip-flopper for sure, because she really wasn't all that relevant until the was prior to that COVID-19 issue and all that came on, because of her anti-jab opinions. So she made, a big noise about that, and they put her on shows like Tucker Carlson and all that. She started becoming really big with her podcast and different shows and things like that. Prior to Kanye West making her relevant, she really didn't have too much to say about anything. She's an author. She's young, she had some statements made about her with people, meaning like Donald Trump and things of that nature, people of that stature, that put her out there. But she's about cultural assimilation, which they have like assuming the values or religion, different behaviors and beliefs, which are pretty much the same as other groups or societal groups, which would be, the so-called white man, nationalism. Now she like I said, she's very smart, man. She knows what she's doing, but I don't believe that she understands really what's going on in this country, man. And money plays a part in it. She's getting paid, obviously, from her books and things of that nature. She pretty much a lot of white folks, man, clamor to her, man, and cleave unto her because of her different views that she may have based upon her conservative values. And I heard you say something earlier about being conservative, but are we talking about conservative on the values of like the United States? Are we talking about that kind of conservative? Because that's about like social philosophy, limited government, individualism, traditionalism, republicanism, limited federal government. We know as Israelites, huh?
We're talking about conservative as far wise as, all right. When I think of conservative, I'm talking about like as far wise like the morals and values. So I'm talking conservative as they don't believe in abortions, they don't believe in feminists, they don't believe in LGBTQ, right? And most high don't need us. So the Democrats believe in they're liberal, they believe they free spirit,
right.
So they believe in anything goes,
right.
Republicans be more like no. My whole thing was, for all the people that if they voters, I don't do that voting thing, you know what I mean? But I would be more towards the Republican side because I would be more conservative. That's what I'm point. So I will ask you,
okay,
which side of that would you be leaning on? You know what I'm saying? Because
definitely more on the Republicanism side, but like I said, not like on that stage of American politics, but of the Most High God in the Bible, which we know the Most High ain't with none of that, man. Mixed racing and all of that, and interracial marriages and abortions and all that stuff, man. Which Democrats pretty much, they stand for, And Candace Owens, she blasted a lot of that and got a lot of backlash from it. But she's also, like I said, she flip-flopped too. But she's married to the so-called white man, right? Who she says she got married to because of his charm and his hand with God. But we all know and question that which God, because it ain't the God of the Bible, right? It ain't the God of the Bible. So she's with him. And not only that, if you look into and see the history of her husband, who he is, who his father is. Now, his father, what's his name? George Farmer, is part of an elite British group called the House of Lords, who change laws, who make laws. Understand, so look heavier than look a little bit, take a magnifying glass and look into that, see why she linked up with him, you know, because when she linked up with him, things in her life started to change, and that's when she went from liberal to conservative, you know. So
hey, it's funny you brought that up, bro, because I was watching him last night, doing a little bit of intel on him, and a guy in the interview asked him basically how did him and Candace get together. And you know, she was part of a show called Turning Point. Yeah. Before the Blixit and everything, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I know she was part of Turning Point.
No, that's right.
So she pretty much had a strong will to want to go over into the UK to kind of build up their presence over there. Now he was into politics, like you said. His family is already into politics, so he was into politics over there, and they kind of met during her visit over there. And he was saying that, you know, our interactions was very minimum. We really didn't talk about anything other than politics and everything that, you know, was related to politics. So to make a long story short, he said just out of the blue one day, he had called her and was like, well, what do you think about, how would you feel if you married me? And the dude was like, yeah, that's what you asked her? He's like, did y'all date? He's like, no, we really didn't say anything pertaining to dating. We didn't build up to this point. It just one day I just called her, you know, after having some conversations with her, you know, about the business and everything on and off, and just asked her that. And then from there, they went on the trip. So it was kind of strange when I heard that, because like, okay, y'all didn't really date. And then you just throw this out there to her, and she just bit like a fish in the meadow, and now y'all, you know, tied up and have a child. And, you know, like you said, it really, as you put it, because I didn't know that part with his father, that it seemed like there was some political strings behind the scenes, some benefits, some some lobbying going on.
Hey, definitely benefits. She bid on that. She bid on that, and she did it on purpose. Like I said, she's smart. You know, she knew what she was getting into, and she knew what was going to elevate her career, especially on a political platform. Like I said, she was irrelevant prior to 2018, 19. She wasn't known for anything. She didn't hit the limelight, man, and hit the stage, man, until 2019. This is around COVID thing or whatever. And she made some statements, and basically they put her on a limelight because you're going to get jumped out there in a spotlight on you when you said anything anti-jab, you know. So she was always opposing those issues, and that's what got her out there. And then, you know, her husband now, you know, looked her up, and like you said, he proposed through her. They proposed through FaceTime. He proposed to, you know, just got married through FaceTime, you know. Right.
For real. That's how
it went down.
Hey, they don't want any white man either. They want the American white man, boy.
That's what she wanted, but she called our men weak. She said she called our men weak.
All that right there together, they all the same thing. America, UK, France, they all right. All them Caucasian countries right there, they the same damn thing. They represent the same damn thing. You know what I'm saying? This is where all the black men and all the really white men with sense and all other men in them countries, they get the hell up out of them too. There's a lot of crazy shit going on right now, and it's a system. It's the 1% of white men sitting somewhere and they control it in all of them countries. Like, it's something about, man, let's pump LGBT, let's pump feminists, let's pump a bunch of damn liberal, crazy, satanic ass, filthy ass, Sodom and Gomorrah ass mess going on.
Right.
It's crazy. It's like you say, like, y'all didn't date?
Nope.
He just called you over FaceTime. Hey, Candace, let's get married. Okay, I dream of this.
Right.
Those white guys were spitting on me, calling me nigger in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. The trauma in high school made you do that? Because, like, damn, like, you would think a white guy would have to sweep her on her damn feet for her to want to talk to one. You know what I'm saying? How she was treated in high school, and one called to you and proposed to you through damn Facebook and didn't even know it. Wow.
Can I just elaborate just real briefly about what you had asked earlier, because we were talking kind of tied into it's tied in about if you're married to another race, can you be prolific for the community? Listen, I stand by my statement earlier, and I think most of Israel stands by that. No, we do not think that you can be prolific for the community when you're married outside of your race, because you're going to have some cultural biases that's going to play a part or be a speed bump in some decisions that you may have to make. Some people don't have to make those decisions, so you might feel that you're exempt. But when the shit hits the fan, so to say, and sides have to be chosen, are you able to make that choice because you're in love or you're attached to another group of people? So the only way I could say that somebody that's in that position can be relevant as far as making a stand for their people 100%, because like I said, truth is always going to be truth. You can be with somebody else and speak truth to power within the community. But if they're not like Ruth, and I'm going to play devil's advocate, because I know in some Israelite communities, Ruth is a Moabite. Some believe she's not. But whatever the case may be, when you read in Ruth chapter 1 and verse 16, it said, and Ruth said, entreat me not to leave thee or to return from following after thee, for whither thou goest, I will go, and where thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God. So if you got somebody that's outside of your culture, outside of your race, your ethnic group, that believes like that and willing to denounce everything that defines them as a person and take on everything about you and your people and your culture, your belief, then yeah, there's a possibility that could be the circumstance. But how many people doing that?
Yeah, because they ain't doing that right now in their own race. Hell, don't say how many damn women of your own race right now that you know that, hey, they're going to come in and want to be one flesh with you. No, they want to be in competition with you. Yeah, we talk about it. We talk about that every week. But, and that's not saying what before. I'm just saying, you're absolutely right. So it's even harder. What I'm saying is even harder for a person outside your race to come in because the women inside your race or the other person, or gender or whatever, it's like trying to bring, hell, you trying to bring them, into one mind. They put be all in one mind. That wife and that husband be one mind. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's supposed to be that husband, whatever his mind is, that's my it's kind of funny, man, like coming to America. Whatever you think, your highness, that's how you supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Yep. But really, that's how you supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? One mind with him. No, not all right. He say this, I say that. You know what I'm saying? Blase. So, it's even harder for one outside. But yeah.
I'm sorry, real quick. I want to say something real quick. I think back in a couple episodes ago, man, I brought out that Willie Lynch letter, man. And this all ties into it, man, when it's talking about the breaking process of the so-called African woman, right? The black woman, right? Here in America, right? So they used, they use this book. It's an instruction manual. And the first part in this book, it says, take the female and run a series of tests on her to see if she will submit to your desires. Who's the your? The so-called white man, right? To your desires willingly, right? Test her in every way, right? Because she is the most important factor for good economics. So they know what they're doing, man. When the House of Lords over there in the UK, wherever they at, brought Candace Owens in, because when you look at the House of Lords, it's a high elite group. It's a membership to get in there, right? You have to be. It's based upon heredity by appointment, right? It's their official function, right? So we know she got whored out. We know what happened behind the scenes. I know listen, brother, you know it. She got she got passed. She got passed around in them rafters, man, up there, man, up in that United Kingdom. She got passed around like a blunt, man.
They made her walk down the goddamn, like those that get jumped in the games and line up.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, them horny, them nasty, horny old white mans, man. They all had their turn, including his son and her husband. All got their turn, man. And now there she is. Now she's there's no such thing as white nationalism. There's no such thing as white supremacy. That's how she went from liberal to conservative. Come on, man. I see you, Candace.
Yeah, and her husband, he's a Oxford graduate in theology. Imagine that. You know what I'm saying? Theology,
What'd
if
you
y'all
say?
don't know, is dealing with the religious Christianity system. So he's a graduate with that degree.
Yep, exactly, man. Exactly. That's spot on, man. Yeah. So it's all kind of witchcraft and everything involved in this thing, man. People do not be confused or confounded, man. We know what's going on in this world, man. It's time, you know, you got to wake up and see, read between the lines. You know what I mean? Always stay occupied in prophecy and everything, man, because the days of, you know, those last days, man, you know, the end is here, you know. So don't let Candace Owens fool you, man. You know, she's part of the deceiving the very elect, man.
So let me ask y'all that before you play this video. Do you think
The White
they're
Lives
setting
Matter
her up
T-shirt on
as
first? You did.
Do you think she's being set up as the new face, one of the new many faces for Black politics?
Most definitely, man. That most definitely. She's looking like as one of the bright spots of. I mean, she's very eloquent, man, in her speech. You know, I don't think that she has much experience in politics as most. I really don't consider her a so-called Black revolutionist woman. When you look at the list from history, they didn't have those views that she had. Maybe a couple, but they all got nobody. Those Black feminists, Black women revolutionists, man, they were going down the right path and had the right idea. But just once again, the scriptures are left out, and they've had that Martin Luther King mindset, that all-inclusive mindset, and it always got our people jammed up. Always got us jammed up. Excuse me. Always.
I don't see it going too far. She may be the run for start off for governor or something like. I mean, some little local state shit. I don't really see nothing big coming. You know what I'm saying? But who knows? You know, you never know, man. How many? You know what I'm saying? Old Mr. Burns. You know what I'm saying? Can beat off up in her. You know what I mean? I don't know. But we're gonna watch this little short on her real quick.
It wasn't Kanye West that put the White Lives Matter T-shirt on first. You did. You did by intentionally ignoring what Black Lives Matter would actually mean if it was applied. It would mean taking a look at all of these statistics that I've just rattled off to you. It would mean taking a look at the real problem that is happening, which is our culture, a celebration of perversity pitched to us as if it's diversity. It's not. It is not diversity that we are celebrating. It is perversity. You think that it's something to be proud of. It's not. So when you say something like, oh, Candace Owens, we don't want you in our culture. You don't understand Black culture. I have to keep reminding you that I don't want to be a part of this culture. I want to destroy it. I want to destroy it further than it's already destroyed itself. I want to go backward. Your idea of progressivism is clearly regressive.
See, that's one of those statements right there where, I mean, if you're being unbiased and if you got your eyes wide open, you kind of agree with that.
I got to agree with her on that. You know what I'm saying? 100%. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fuck all this Black culture. What killing each other?
Right. What is Black culture? What is Black culture?
Yeah. This ain't no damn Black culture here.
Right.
You know
right. That's what a lot of people confuse. See, there's a stigma. There's a thing out there, man, saying that that's going to, saying what Black culture is. What is Black culture? Hip hop. What is it? Greens and black eyed peas, man. And pound cake. Is that Black culture? No. So when she said that, yeah, it's like I said, there's a lot of things that she says that, if your eyes are open, man, you got to agree with. You know what I mean? I mean, I understand what she's saying. A lot of people would have took offense to that. What? You trying to start them and see that? She trying to, she says your Uncle Tom, whatever, But no, she says a lot of things. They're not really digging deep and listening, reading in between the lines of what she's saying. A lot of people just react off emotions and don't use their intellect, you know what I mean, and listen to what she's saying, But still, on the other hand, she's just not doing this thing correctly, biblically. She doesn't know, and we're not bashing the sister at all. We just bringing out a lot of points and facts based on, some of our opinions of how she is and what versus what she should be doing in the so-called Black community, And you know, but it's up to the Most High, man, to change her mind and change. We can't do it, you know what I mean? So she's going to be used in some shape, form, or fashion down the road, man. You know, it made an example or something. You know, the Most High know what he's doing.
Yeah, she was dead on point on that shit right there, man. God, kill all that shit, destroy all the wickedness and shit going on with people, man. I'm saying all the buffoonery, because basically what she was saying is all the ratchetness. You know what I'm saying? Ratchet, y'all want to make ratchet. Everything ratchet is the black culture. Nah, man.
Right.
That shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm dead with her on that issue right there. Yeah,
most definitely.
Ratchet ass black culture. All the ratchetness of it destroyed. You know what I'm saying? Ain't doing us no motherfucking good. You know what I'm saying? You niggas complaining about shit where stop being so ratchet. That culture got to get destroyed. So, you know, on that tip right there, I'm absolutely 100% behind her on that right there. What'd you say about it, Dunya Huda?
Yeah, I agree with her 100%. And this is why she's an enigma, because in one aspect, from what we was just talking about earlier, you can see all the problems, how problematic somebody like a Candace Owens can be. This is why they say she's polarizing, because in one aspect, you're going to find things about her and you're going to be like, oh man, I really back Candace Owens and what she's saying, like what she just said now as far as black culture. But then in other aspects, her promoting white nationalism, you know what I'm saying? Her marrying outside of her race, her talking about certain aspects of this, that, and the third, to have you like, yo, what in the hell is she talking about? So it's just one of those things, like Sadak said, she speaks very eloquent, but she's not very, I don't think she does homework all the time on some of the things she say. A lot of times us as a people get bits of information here or there and not really follow up on the full spectrum of the information and speak on it, you know, before we really do the homework. But just speaking to that black culture, I was reading this book. It's called Insanity, The Great Masonic Secret Master Keys by a brother named Mishalal Talib Mahfouz El Bey, right? And he was saying in this book that Negro and black are synonymous, as is colored and African American. They mean exactly the same thing. Black is derived from English Latin vulgar, and Negro is from Moorish Latin, which later became known as Spanish. Black means salivator mortis. So salivator mortis, that's not a common Negro word. So I looked it up as y'all was talking. It means civil death is the loss of all or almost all civil rights by a person due to a conviction for a felony or due to an act by the government of a country that results in the loss of civil rights. Unconscious, debased social and moral condition and death. So when we take on these appellations as black, African American, Afro American, Negro, and so forth, we're saying in so many words roundabout that our people don't know is that we're a debased society. We're culturally dead and we're civilly dead. And we're acknowledging that by taking on these titles. This is why it tells you in Deuteronomy 28 that we will be a byword, an astonishment, and a proverb in verse 37. So these are the things that, you know, the Creator has laid out through the mouth of the prophets to really give you that information. Those who have ear, listen, and those who have eyes to see it. Because if you don't, you're just going to be a victim of these faces that they put in front of us, like a Candace Owens, like an Al Sharpton, like a Jesse Jackson, and so forth and so on. That's going to steer you down the wrong path.
Yeah, you're right, brother. Man, I'm gonna interject something real quick that you said that was heavy when you gave that definition when you was talking about black, right? Can you real quick, man, read that again real quick? That definition you was talking about, what it mean?
Oh, the salivatus mortis, salivator mortis.
Yeah.
It's the loss of all or almost all civil rights by a person due to a conviction for a felony or due to an act by the government of a country that results in the loss of civil rights.
Brother, that sounds like that tie into Jeremiah 14:2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground. Does that mean, is that talking about their skin? Or is that talking about a condition of a people?
I don't know. You know, that's a very avid argument within the Israelite community.
It
right?
is, yeah, it is, man. Like you gotta, I mean, for real. I mean, we just went in and get the etymology of the word. You know, I'm not saying that again, but that just hit me in the spirit to really go in there and say the gates, talking about the gates thereof language, what the governments of the people, the leadership of the people, you know, language, man. They are black unto the ground. It ain't going to go from talking about a government and the gates of a people and then go and jump into the next thought talking about the color of their skin. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
That's heavy right there.
Yeah, I'm just saying, bro.
Absolutely 100% correct. Well, we want to hit y'all with a power punch today. We told you we're going to be too long-winded. Could be too long-winded on Candace one. We're going to give it that much time. But we want to hit y'all real quick. What y'all think about it? Episode 39, Candace Owens, Black Revolutionist, or just a new version of Modern Women? Final thoughts, brothers. Y'all got any other thing to say?
Once again, man. I'm sorry, brother. This is a good show, man. Good show. Good, very good show. Thought we'd bring that out, man, on Candace Owens. Like I said, it's not bashing the sister, nothing like that, you know, but just bringing light to the situations and subject matters that come up involving this sister, and hopefully, you know, Lord's will, you know, she comes around, man, and finally, you know, the light hit her. She separates from her enemy. Right, she separates from her enemy, right, and because she seemed like she right there on the cusp of it, man. But you know, it's all up to the Most High, man. Great show. All praise to the Most High, man.
All praises. Yeah, I would just give first and foremost honor and praise to our sovereign, Abba Yah, for allowing us to have breath in our body to be able to congregate today on this panel and give out some information to the people. Also, just to that question you asked, Brother Sadak, you know, in Job 11:6, it said, "And that he would show thee the secrets of wisdom, that they are double to that which is." So, you know, that whole meaning of black into the ground, it may have a double meaning to it, brother. A lot of times scriptures have double meanings. It can be literal, or and also spiritual. So,
right,
you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that you know, we have to seek out the Most High and ask for understanding through the Spirit. You know what I'm saying, to get that. And with that, you know, I'm gonna just end on this note and let the people know that do your due diligence. The scriptures say to study to show yourself approved. So before you back anything, whether it's political, whether it's in your household, whether it's with yourself, your job, whatever the case may be, do your research on it, do your homework on it, and see if this is the path that the Most High Abba Yah wants you to take. And if not, you know what I'm saying, you got to adjust accordingly. It was a great show today. Once again, thank you, brothers. Came on the panel and gave that knowledge through the power of the Most High Yah. And with that, I say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. Hey, I'd like to thank you, brothers. Brother Dunn, Yehuda, Fire Talk Radio podcast. Y'all go subscribe to that. Brothers the Dark, Let's Talk Knowledge and Wisdom Radio podcast. Y'all go subscribe to that. Brother Dunn, Brother Kate Judah, CUCFOPE show. Y'all go subscribe to that. I'd like to thank all the brothers and sisters in the chat. Brother Obadiah, Kate Judah. Special shout out to Professor Lovely Lady. Thanks for the Cash App, sister. The sister's always supporting behind the scenes. She get a lot of pushback from the ladies because she keep ladies accountable. Don't you ever stop doing that, Professor Lovely Lady. Keep ladies accountable like we keep men accountable.
That's right.
Everybody accountable. So keep doing the wonderful work of the Most High. The Most High is working with you. Abundant blessing to you and your family. Hey, abundant blessing to you and y'all and y'all family. Like I end off with my favorite scripture every episode, Ecclesiastes 12:13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Verse 14, for the Most High God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. And with that, folks, we'd like to say shalom. Y'all have a nice and wonderful day, Sabbath. Pass this video along with people, family and friends, and people are like-minded. Until next time, hey, love, peace, and happiness. We love you all.